Hi guys, Zeth here, and welcome back to another episode of TerraFirmaCraft. So I've been doing a fair bit of off-camera work, just little things basically. Yeah, little things. Basically what this is I decided to preserve as much of the mutton and pork that I could. And that is not mutton or pork. And by that I could, I mean it's pretty much all of it. I've actually got a couple extra barrels left over that I need to... Okay, that's actually good to know. There's this one over here that needed to pull some out of. Wait, there we go. Okay, there you go. Nice full barrel. But yeah, figured, we had so much food that we really just needed to get it stored away. One of the ways we got all that food was, I'm pretty sure, is the male pigs. Yeah, it was the male pigs, and I also cleared out the rest of the sheep. So, man, we have we have meat for forever. We're not gonna need meat ever again, I don't think. But we do have our breeding pair of pigs now. So when our harvest for the year comes out, we'll be ready. I hope. Oh man. Seriously though, my my diet in here has been just absolutely awful. It's early autumn. So yeah, it's been just a little bit of work. It's been kind of fun though. Okay, let's see. What do we want to do today? Oh, yeah, let's finish this. So, last episode I talked about wanting to build like an actual village square kind of thing. So I decided to start. Now, obviously this isn't a square, it's well, right now it's kind of a cross, but it's not staying as a cross. And I guess, well, a cross would technically have, you know, one thingy that's longer than all the others, which this doesn't. So I guess that's more of just like a plus sign. Anyways, though, oh, I wanted to get some stuff finished with that with you guys. First thing we're going to need, though, is we need to run over and grab a lot of granite bricks. And by get, I really mean make, because we're not necessarily running out, and we still have an entire vessel. But in the grand scheme of things, that's not all that many. Let's drop... Yeah, that should be more than enough. Empty vessel. Okay. Let's get these all bricked out. And there goes granite. Bricks. Okay, right there. Okay, and zoop. Zoop. Okay. We're just gonna call that good for now. Because I do want to get back to building. I've been doing most of this off camera, and it's really nice just... It's so relaxing. I mean, just look, it's... Minecraft is just so beautiful. Well, I don't know, it's not beautiful, but I look around at what has been built in my world and stuff like that, and it's like, wow, this is awesome. So it's been a lot of fun, and just been doing stuff off camera. So it's been really relaxing. I also decided to turn up the difficulty of Minecraft a little bit. Mainly, we now have zombie awareness. So zombies can hear, and skeletons I think can too, but they can basically hear and smell and stuff like that. So zombies are just, they're overall just better. And I like it actually. I know I've heard a lot of people like, don't really like zombie awareness, but I like it a lot. It makes Minecraft more difficult in my opinion in actually a fun way too. Okay. Oops, dang it. Okay. So now what do we need here next? I mean, you might be looking at this and being like, well, Zeth, this is really boring. And you know what? You're completely right. This right here is very, very boring. But when we do this, and yeah, up to there, there, right? Yeah, it comes across. Is it there or no? It's right here. Okay, so it's basically like this, and then the rest of the way around. I'm planning on having two things here. One, I'm gonna put some nice smooth granite here, like the actual smooth granite. And then I plan on putting a granite statue on top. Statue, of course, is gonna be longer term. That's definitely not gonna be done today. It'd be awesome if I could, but yeah, that's just not gonna happen. But I've also been wanting to bring up a topic that I talked about a little while back, and that is the topic of uh, bacteria and microbes and all that stuff. Don't remember what episode it was, but I was talking about how bacteria are actually, extremely important for us. And I mentioned that there's a bit of a philosophical debate that you could get into with that. Figured I might as well actually talk about that. So basically, bacteria outnumber our cells, like our cells, our genetic cells, basically. And that's fine. You don't have to worry about it or anything silly like that. But where this gets fun is they outnumber our cells like I think it's 10 to 1, which that's pretty mind blowing to me anyway. I mean, think about it. You are more filled with bacterial cells than human cells. Now, that's not saying that you're more bacterial than human, just by cell count you are. If that makes sense. Now, what I find fun about that is we like to, think that we are completely, oh, dang it, completely in charge of our own personal faculties and stuff like that. And we'd like to think that as an organism, we're pretty self-sufficient, but we're we're not really all that self-sufficient. I mean, bacteria help pretty much every minor little thing in our body function. I just find that amazing to think about. I mean, if you didn't have these bacteria in you, you wouldn't die, not immediately anyway, but you wouldn't be in nearly as good of condition for the most part. Um, Again, this is all based off of me being a microbiology student for university. So I could be messing up facts, but I mean, I had an exam on this stuff, so hey, clearly I'm an expert. I hope the sarcasm came through with that. But I don't know, I just find it so fascinating. And then there's the whole everyone wants antibiotic stuff, like antibacterial soaps. I mean, that we actually know is going to have medical importance because, yeah, they've actually discovered that, well, bacteria are really adapting. They're starting to be stronger against different bacterials or antibacterial stuff. So, yeah. But in addition to that, well, what what is that going to do to us? I mean, if we are in fact at least not if not very very reliant on bacteria. Wait, I don't know. I just talked myself in a circle. But yeah, if we're killing bacteria, which again, it's not necessarily a bad or good thing. You can say it is one or the other, but it's not inherently good or bad. Bacteria are actually bacteria are just like people. There's both good and bad. Although, in all actuality, almost every bacteria does play a role, not just like our internal bacteria, but bacteria in general. Oh, dang it. I mean, we like to think as humans that we run the world, but we don't. The bacteria are. We're just sharing it. But yeah, I don't. I just find that stuff. I find it so fascinating. Another fun philosophical debate in microbiology is actually what constitutes life, and beyond that, what constitutes a species. I won't get into the species one right now, but basically, where the what constitutes life one comes from is viruses. And for those who don't know what viruses are, and I'm not talking about computer viruses, those are programs, and under our current understanding, programs are not sentient. Not saying they couldn't be, of course, but that's probably past our lifetime. Anyways, what a virus basically is a packaged away not even self-replicating, but they're basically, well, you're not supposed to fall. Nope, still gonna fall. Okay, fine. But viruses basically, depending on the class of virus, of course, there's there's more than I can talk about in a 20 or 30-minute episode for viruses. They are actually still pretty complicated. Oh, come on. I'm not amused. But basically, the reason why they're not typically thought of being as alive is because they require a host cell, whether that's our cells or something else we don't actually know. Well, we know, but um, it doesn't really matter. They need another organism to breed. And I actually think that they should still be counted as life forms. Because the big argument I've always heard against counting them as something that's alive is that, well, they need something else to live. Well, so do ticks and mosquitoes, but I mean, we count those as alive. So it's always been weird to me that viruses aren't counted as alive based off that. Guys, you got a little baby. Get a little baby. Oh. Do I have any corn left? I really hope I have corn. Oh, well, sudden distraction. Yeah, I don't have any corn in here. Oh gosh, if I don't get grains harvested, I'm gonna be really sad. Anyways, basically, people will say that viruses aren't alive, and it's like, what criteria do we count as alive then? Well, it has to be able to reproduce. It has to have some, it has to exist, of course, and you normally get answers like that. Okay, so how about viruses? Well, no, they're not alive. They're packages of protein that injects itself into a cell and replicates based off of that. And it's like, well, are we just saying that packages of protein don't are not counted as alive? Because when when you break it down, that's all most living things are. Not like, packages, like, but, everything's still made out of the same components pretty much. So it seems, I don't know, it's always seemed arbitrary to say, well, this isn't alive and this is. And even worse is the idea of organic chemistry. Now, don't get me wrong, organic chemistry can be a real pain in the butt, especially if you don't have a good teacher or if you aren't a good student. But the very term of it seems kind of silly to me because, okay, how do you determine something that's alive? Oh, something that can't be synthesized. Well, things that have been always considered organic chemicals have been synthesized quite a bit now. Like, I think, I'm pretty sure urea was the first organic compound that was synthesized in a lab. So, okay, what can we count as an organic chemical then? Oh, it has a lot of carbons. Well, graphite and diamond are both made out of carbon. So, do we count those as organic? And it's just arguments like that are always very fun for me because I mean, it feels like people never really talk about that kind of stuff, and to be fair, it doesn't. Most arguments like that, or discussions like that, I should say, are pretty pointless. I mean, even if you have someone who it's fun to argue with, if your goal is to change their mind, you're not going to. That's one thing I've definitely learned. You're not going to change someone's beliefs for the most part. There are exceptions, of course, but for the most part, you're never going to change someone's beliefs. But yeah, on the larger scale, it's easy to tell if something's alive. I mean, you look at a dead body. Oh, hey, this person has no identifiable brain patterns. This person now counts as dead. That's pretty easy, cut and dry kind of stuff. But you still have the issue of, well, technically there's actually still quite a bit of bodily function that goes on. I mean, brain function is, I'm fairly certain, what we consider as the point of death in medicine, in modern medicine, I should say. And I think that's actually a good way to describe it. 2, 3, I think right here. Yes. Then it'll be right here, I'm pretty sure. Yep, that looks right. Um, but, I mean, after after you are no longer conscious and your brain has stopped functioning, when people would call you dead, are you truly dead? And I don't mean in like the zombie sense or anything like that. But, I mean, what is it about being alive that makes you alive? That's basically the ultimate of what I'm getting at. I mean, why is one thing considered alive and why is one thing not? I mean, again, this has absolutely no bearing on anything we're doing in TFC or anything going on in real life. I mean, I don't think there'd ever be a situation where this conversation is relevant. But it's still kind of, I don't know, I do like conversations like that. 1, 2, 3. This is right. Right. Nope. Dang it. And of course, this is the closest that I've got. But, yeah. Actually, I would like to hear what other people have to say about this kind of topic. It's always, I really have always found this kind of stuff interesting. I mean, I have a friend from high school who I used to always have this kind of conversation with, and we'd just go round and round for hours, like, what is moral and things like that. It's a lot of fun. Then he got married and moved out to the middle of nowhere, but anyways. But yeah, think, I think I've actually rambled for long enough today. Oh, I'm probably going to keep on working on this a bit. I do want to have a statue or at least the granite in place for next episode. And again, I'm not going to, I'm going to have to do a lot of prototyping in a creative world before I am comfortable with bringing a structure back for you guys. But I'm going to probably start doing that. And we still have actually quite a bit of work to do here, but yeah, I've rambled enough for today, I think. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.